Hi there, everybody. This is Captain Dennis with SqualusMarine.com. We're heading out with the halftime on the south shore of Long Island to check out one of the best wrecks in the northeast United States. The wreck of the Oregon, or the SS Oregon, which sank in 1883. It's a pretty big boat, 521 feet. And if you look here, we got some images from our friends at Eastern Search and Survey, and you can see the path we're going to take on today's dive. So we're out here. We've got a really nice day. This is like the fourth or fifth time I've tried to do this, and the wreck didn't know it was coming, so let's see what happens. So we get down into the water, and we've got some pretty good visibility. So as we start to descend, we go through this like petri dish of, I don't know if these are comb jellies, all kinds of jellyfish and all kinds of stuff. A lot of pretty cool looking things floating in the water column. So we start to get down. We're tied into the rudder quadrant, or the steering quadrant. I'm not really sure. You guys will correct me. It's the internet. And you can see there's a diver off to the right. That's Wally. He's the guy who tied in for us. And you can see magically the water turns to blue, which is pretty interesting. So we're going to check this wreck out. And like I said, we're starting as far aft as we can start. And that big old thing there, the big round thing, used to turn the rudder. And you can kind of see the rudder, and you can kind of make out a little bit of the prop, but we'll get back into that a little bit later. So as we come over the steering quadrant, you see that little white bag there? And that's about the size of, say, a regular grocery store bag or something. So it gives you an idea of how big that structure is. So this ship sank in 1886. I guess had a collision with a schooner, and down she went. And from what I was told, it's in 127, 130 feet. But from what I understand, when she sunk, her masts were still coming out of the water. So that's how big she was. This is a massive, massive vessel. Here we are again on the quadrant, just with the lights on, so you get to see some of the colors and the marine life that's taken hold here. So we're going to start descending a little bit. We're going to go down to some more wreckage and work our way over to the starboard side of the ship. And you can see there's no shortage of marine life. We're a good, debatable, I think it's between 10 and 15 miles south of the island. So now we're off on the starboard side, and we're looking at the mighty prop. It's a pretty big prop. That's nothing in here for scale, but take my word for it, that's a big prop. 520-foot ship. You need a heck of a wheel to push that thing. You can see the rudder is off to the left. Big blades. And really starting to get an idea of the rudder there. Take another look at the quadrant. Here's Wally for scale. Hi, Wally. And now we're going to move forward. We just saw the meat. Now let's go see the potatoes. We're going to start heading forward, and you can start to see something coming up. Look down, you can see some bits. But that's what we're talking about. That is the massive engine of the SS Oregon. Hold on, we'll get back to it. Yeah, come on. Over here. So there it is. That's the engine. So it's about 130 feet on the bottom, and that thing comes up to, I believe, 80 feet. Now, I'm sure you technical folks know it down to the foot, but we're ballparking things here, folks. So this was a compound steam engine, and it was hooked up to a single screw. They had 4 masts, in case, I guess, they didn't have CTO back then, but that's what they did. They'd put the masts up if the engine stopped working. It was 7,300 gross tons, so you need a heck of an engine to push a big old girl like that from the United Kingdom to the United States. Now we're coming up on the starboard side of the engine. Look at this thing, it's ridiculous. It's hard to put in perspective unless you're there, because when you realize that this thing pushed a boat, and it's just massive. It's kind of hard to put into words, just the magnitude of this monstrous ship. So way up on top of the engine, you can see there's a fish like it. A lot of sea bass. I'm sure there's some blackfish in there somewhere, tautags or whatever you want to call them. But everybody's just kind of hanging out on top of this engine. You can see here there's another boat tied in. Fish is all over the place. Now, you see those big round things, those canisters, those are boilers. And there's 9 of them, because 6 wasn't enough apparently. Now these boilers would produce steam, heat the water up and all that good stuff, and that would push that engine, which would then push the prop. I am not a mechanic. That thing that just went by stung my face. It's pretty interesting. I mean, this has been down here for over 100 years, and it's a real testament to how well these things were built. So we're about halfway through the ship. I'm going to turn around, head on the other side, so we're going to come back on the port side, and we're going to start moving aft. We're just going to peek down here and see what's in between these boilers. Just a bunch of wreckage. And if you sift through that wreckage, there's no telling what you'll find. I see something. I want to go give it a little bit more attention. I think this is a wolffish. Hey, buddy. And over here, we've got a flounder. I didn't get close enough to see which side his mouth was on, but you can look up here and see the engine again. On the right, it looks like you've got, looks like there were some portholes there. And this engine's so massive, you can actually swim through it and come out the other side. Just turn the lights on for a hot second just to see the colors. Get a little bit of backscatter. I'm working on it, but just wanted to get you an idea what the colors look like on this ship. It's not so much monochrome as you think. goes up there. There's all kinds of marine life hiding underneath all this wreckage. And if you're really interested in finding out the scoop on this wreck, all the interesting details, you can go to squalusmarine.com, click on Research and Data, and then click on Resources. And there's a lot of other websites that have done all the heavy lifting on the research end of things. We just film them here, folks. This looks like a capstan winch or something. From what I understand, I think this was used to handle the sails and load some of the cargo. You got some bits. And there's the winch from a different angle. Off to the right, you can see there's another diver kind of rooting around. And that diver gives you an idea of just how big that winch is. I saw this lobster and I got closer and it's dead. So I don't know what's up with that guy, but this guy's very much alive. And there's something missing there. I don't know if Ed's been around, but there's a lingcod too. And another fish over there on the right. You don't even see him, do you? See him? They're so funny. They just like kind of hang out like, you don't see me, so they just whatever. So now we're back at the quadrant and we're pretty much at the end of our dive. Like I said earlier, if you're interested in learning more about the Oregon or a whole bunch of other wrecks, you can go to squalusmarine.com, click on Resources and Data or Research and Data, and then go to Resources or something like that. But you'll find them. There's a whole bunch of other websites that talk about these wrecks in graphic detail. There's a whole world out there, folks, and history that you wouldn't even know about because it's underneath the water and there's no place to put a sign. So we're going to head on up, take a final look at the quadrant. There's Natalie down there rooting around looking for, I think she found her spear. But we're going to head on up to the boat. So we hope you enjoyed our dive today. We're going to have to come back because we didn't get in the bow. And there's still people coming down. So we'd like to thank Natalie for inviting us on an impromptu charter. We weren't supposed to be out here, so Rec didn't see me coming, so the visibility was good. And we'd like to thank Captain Ralph Towlin of the Halftime for bringing us out here and getting us this world-class visibility. Be sure to check us out at squalusmarine.com and subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. And until next time, I'm Captain Dennis.